Yellow, everyone. I guess I should log into the chat. Apparently I got logged out. I gotta put all these things away and clean up for 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna play around. Oh yeah, I need to go get my soldering iron though. That is a must. Oh well, at least I know where pretty well everything goes. Makes it easy to put away. Usually. I wish there was a slower speed on this thing. It's like I keep adjusting everything because it starts vibrating. Alright, I gotta go get my soldering iron. I can bring this in. I think that's it. I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going to turn this light off, but I'll be right back.
Can you guys hear that fan running outside? It's just like an annoying sound. Alright. So I had an idea. I think this is a really, really good idea. I'll show you, explain to you what it is in a minute. It's a 5-minute cleanup session though, because this is a disaster in here. Before I take this apart though, I want to note something. Yeah, clean up 10 minutes. I'm not worried about the stuff behind me. I'm more worried about the stuff on the bench here. I think this is a good shot, right? Gets everything in there. Should be able to read the meter if it's... I think I stream slower quality or lower quality here. But before I take this apart, I wanted to look at how I had it connected. It's through the switch. Actually, this guy was still connected. Did it finally die? Yeah, it's shorted out. So I've got the only, oh no, I've got that attached to there, which goes back to there. Okay, so the only thing attached to that reed, it goes through the coil. That's what I thought. Okay, so what happens is the relay switches due to the fact that the current is pulled here, and the current pulled here doesn't allow the reed switch to turn back. It releases it, so it turns it on here, dumps it, because this actually works. Okay, well, I'm going to clean up briefly. Just move a few things out of my way. These flybacks will still be worth trying here in a second, so we'll try those as well. I still don't exactly know where my see, I don't need all these out. Put that back in here. Still don't know exactly where all these went. Oh, you know what? I left my other stuff in the house. Yeah, I'll go get it in a minute. I have some capacitors I want to use in here. Yeah, you messed that song up. You tried. I appreciate the effort. How you doing anyway? I'm surprised you're watching. You must be tinkering with something. I'll send out that email, and I'll probably end up making a video for like for Monday. I may even should record it today actually, but well, I'm gonna send an email out with last week's pulse motor build off update videos. This one will include my development so far on the one I've been building, which is still a disaster. I'll finish it, even though I don't want to be honest, because it'll take me about 2 nights to just finish it. I only got a few more solar panels to put on. That's it. And it'll be just done. I ripped all those solar panels off that I put on, but I shouldn't have done that, because I think those were pretty good in the straight light. In the regular light, they were okay. They just weren't any good in low light. But after tearing them all off and putting brand new ones on, I almost think that was okay the way I had it. So whatever. It's too late now. Alright. So we got that relay. Let's put all of our coils over here so we know what we've got. I still can't find the other one. My scissors can be put away, actually. Russ, have you read that post? I've read all of the posts except for the Stan Myers thread that's going back and forth right now. I've left that one out of the loop for the moment. I don't want to concentrate on that. Hold on, I'll have to look at which one that is. See, I'm not going to use this anymore. Got my soldering iron, so I can put that away. Alright, diode, ultra cap, ultra cap bank, diode, capacitor, capacitors, super cap bank, coils, coil, cap, high voltage diodes, random washer, spark gap, my door closed, it got hot in here, flyback, bridge rectifier that probably a good one. I need to test the other ones. I broke a few of them. Okay, so that's good enough for now. I'm gonna go get those caps real quick. I want to charge them up and see how well they hold. I think they're oil filled. So they're 22 UF. Okay, and the rest of the goodies I forgot. So, big caps, high voltage caps, but they got probably bleed resistors in them. I got a bunch of little transformer inductors, and then small reed switches. Well, solar panels at low light draw energy, don't they? Hence putting the diode on the circuit so you don't drain the batteries at night. I don't know. I just know that those cells are very, very sensitive because they're NASA grade. But yeah, I don't know. You're probably right. Okay. Charge these caps up. I am going to click on this link and make sure it's the thread I've already read. Oh, yeah, maybe not. Maybe I have not read that. I will read that. Not right now, but I will read that. So here's what I want to do. First of all, I want to draw my circuit. It's going to be real simple, this circuit, and then I can add a, if I know the frequency, these two caps should get me what I want. So while we're waiting, let's test both of these caps. These should be brand new. An MPP 330 volt AC, 22 UF, caps. They got bleed resistors on the outside, which is cool, so I'm going to take them off and see if I'm just curious how well they hold. They're probably still going to be terrible, I imagine. But a lot of the new ones are on the inside, so you can't take them off anymore. Yeah. There we go. I'll leave one side on just in case I wanted to short them out. Okay, you know, I should hang this solder up here. Yeah, I'm so smart. Okay, let's see what we can do here. So these are AC caps, so they probably, I mean, I don't expect them to hold a big charge or anything. It's not bad. Actually, let's crank it up. Let's just turn, oh, that one's all the way up, okay. Let's just switch our leads here, so now we got basically 40 volts. Oh, this is backwards, but that's okay. Bam! Look how fast, 40 volts. You guys can't see it, sorry. Still can't see it, huh? Like that, you could see it. Yeah, well, anyway. It's not bad. That's a good thing. That one's charged up. Let's see what kind of bang it makes. Want to? Or give me something. Usually just something laying around here. Yeah, a piece of tungsten. There we go. Ah, a little pop. Okay, very good. So, those are... Did I leave that one charged at 5 volt? I think I did. Oh no, it's the same one. Alright, well actually, let's charge it up. And we'll leave it charged. It's at 40. We'll check it in a few minutes. Probably drop off. Alright. So here we got our 5 volts, 5.2. And we're going to go ahead and hook them back up to this cap bank. That's for when I do other things there. Okay. Look like run caps. Yeah, they're for something like that. Hook our meter back up so we can see what we got. Alright, I'm gonna draw this on a external piece of paper. This is kind of what I want to do, but I want to trigger it. So right now we've got a switch that looks like this. Right? We've got a capacitor that looks like that. We've got, let's see, we're going to go with ground over here, because this is the way I have it drawn on my other schematic. So 22 UF here, and then my MOT primary. Yep. Just like that. Okay. So I want an oscillation here. And of course our high voltage, low voltage. So what I want is what I want to, I guess this is kind of what I had already, but I didn't have this capacitor. So what I want is this small coil that is always going to be connected to power. So I was thinking I could actually put it there. Okay, well, we can try connecting that in many places. If worse comes to worse, I could add the cap here. That actually might work. I'll draw another one where I'm going to put the cap there. and I could tie that there, or I could tie it there, or I could tie it there. So that's what we're going to play with for a little bit. Oh. Dyden is sharing the information. Can I zoom in? I can do this for a minute while I get everything else going. Uh-oh. It's a formula. No! I'll pull that up. I can zoom in, but it'd be better to find a better place to mount my camera if I zoomed in. I can do this. Be a little better for you, maybe. I think you can read that. Okay. So let's hook that up, just like this one, and I'll play around with different points. I'm gonna do it without the cap. This one first, just to make sure we can get this oscillating. I don't need a biasing magnet for this. This works by itself. I should try fixing. Wind must be blowing out there. I should try fixing this thing. I broke the wire off. And it's a bit of a mess. I'll solder that back on. Alright. Famous jumper leads. Let's go from negative. And then we're going to bypass the cap for the moment. We're going to go to... Let me put my meter over here too, because I want you to be able to see it. Much better, right? Try putting the capacity on the end of the upper coil. Oh, you mean on the high voltage coil? Yeah. Right now I'm going to short that out before I forget. Short it out. Boom. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm not oscillating at 60 Hertz, so any capacitance I add there right now won't help me very much for the capacitors I have, but yeah, I don't disagree with that. So now we're going to go to the open side of the reed. Open side of the reed to the closed side of the reed after I fix this. Ow. You guys will laugh at me, but if I touch the wrong things in here, I get shocked because my knee's touching something, the ground or something. See, I need a small piece of wire. We'll just solder this on there. There we go, fixed. Much better. Very stinky though. Okay, so we're gonna go from one side of this coil to the positive. Yes, I don't care what color my leads are. It's better to just have random colors anyway so you can trace them. And then we're gonna go to this side. Oh, okay, that's what I need to do though. This needs to be the other way around. That's what I wanted to do. I actually want maybe it is right. It's okay that way. It's just, I was going to draw it a different way, which is easier to look at, but it's fine. So I'm going to connect this point also to the positive. And then the other side of my coil we'll play with. So if I connect it here, we run. If I connect it here, it only flickers because it needs the dropping magnetic field here to run. And now let us try adding a cap real quick. See if we can get it to oscillate. It's somewhere around 500 hertz. I did the math. This cap, or a combination of this cap and the other one, should be really close to what we want. So let's see if we can get it to oscillate. No. Only one trigger, because the current is not doing anything once the coil is charged. It's not allowing it to oscillate. So the other thing I can do is I could put the coil across it. So we'll do that. So instead of in the line, which is what I want series resonance. We'll go ahead and try parallel for the minute. Let's just see what happens. So now we're going to do parallel. See if it oscillates. Oscillates at a different frequency. It does pull less. Let's put two of them in there. Maybe we're a little off, so this will be twice as much now. Because I actually do want to get somewhat into a resonance notion here. I think that's better. Because this thing can only oscillate so fast. I'm going to put my scope on. So if I open up this side, should get some good sparks. not really. And that's because the current, oh, actually the current is not going through that little one, see? Huh, so I would think, well, let me bypass this, then see if we get those high voltage sparks. Get rid of this for a second. Nope. That is strange to me. It should still be getting the full potential. But somehow oh, it's pulling way more current though. Nope, that's something else going on. Maybe. Oh, I have this coil shorted like a dummy. Time out. There we go. Now we'll get our sparks. Probably the camera goes stupid. Oh, it's still small. But fixed our current. Ah, so with or without that, we still don't get much. That's very strange to me. That is very strange to me. So the way this circuit's connected right now, I should get a straight connection, just like I was doing before. And if I add them in series, that won't work. So look, when it turns on without the capacitor, it's got straight connection. So if I bypass the read for a second, you can get a nice spark out of this guy. See? No problem. It's probably messing with the cameras. Tends to do that. Like right now I'm not getting a high voltage spark just off of this coil, but not off the high side. I wonder why. Not quite sure about that. Let's set this up so we can actually see it better. Hold on, Steve, let me set this up and then I'll try to answer some questions you're telling me to do. Maybe I messed up the transformer or something at some point. I should get a high voltage spark every single time. Just for fun, I'm going to switch over to one of these, which is probably going to draw tremendous amounts of power, but I'm going to switch over real quick. I'm going to hook up one of these flybacks. Up the coil to our oscillator. We'll go ahead and activate the oscillator and see what we get out of that. Like, I would expect that to spark, but this is pretty low voltage maybe. I would expect that to spark unless I got something wrong. If I bypass it, let's see. If I bypass it this way, I don't get any spark out of that flyback. That is very bizarre to me. It's only 5 volts, but let's try a different one. I would for sure expect to see a spark out of that guy. So ground. And then I got something else funky, but doubt it. I hear it like doing something. Oh, there's a little spark. Okay, now let's oscillate it. Now we got some high voltage. Oh yeah, much better. Pulling huge amounts of current though. So maybe I can yeah, as long as it doesn't quit. Oh yeah, that one quit, didn't it? I'll just turn the other one off. It doesn't like this. So look, this is like huge huge low resistance. Nice high voltage spark off this guy. So I can let's just add a big coil in here and just see if it still oscillates and gives me a spark. Yeah, it's good. Let's go ahead and just hook it up for the moment, permanently. And let's see if we can get a high voltage spark at a short distance. That's not enough current. See, I would think I could put a cap in this line and get it to oscillate at least, but it won't trigger the way that I would like it to trigger. Maybe I do need to go on the other side. Should be the same, really. And now it won't do anything. Yeah. temporarily short the cap to get the oscillation going. I'll try it. I would think I could get it going, right? Because right now I'm using, don't forget I'm using the high current draw of this coil. Let's see, like right now I could go on the other side. No, I can't. I could if I switched it back. If I put this back here, I put this on this side, and then I can bypass the cap, but the cap should still be in the circuit. I don't know why that doesn't work. Oh, you know what? The resistor isn't connected, right? So let's connect that and see if it will run like that. It shouldn't though. It's turning on and off. It's just it's not oscillating. Well, it's all in the tuning apparently, and I thought I was close enough with this guy, but I don't know why that wouldn't oscillate like that. And if I put it in parallel with the coil, take off this resistor. So if I put it in parallel, this is on the negative side actually. It should still run now. Still draws a bunch, but doesn't throw an arc. Suppresses that sharp impulse, which is the purpose of the arc coming out. Needs that sharp impulse. Cap in series is a DC block. Yeah, but it should. If it starts to oscillate, though, it should continue. Obviously, I can't get it to oscillate. Well, at least I do know if I had a coil, I can get less amp draw, but not really what I want. Let's try a smaller cap. Yeah, the big one was 10 UF, pretty big. This is a little bitty tiny guy here. See, it's on, I can't even get it to trigger. It's triggering, it's just not oscillating on that one. Oh, let's just try a few more, shall we? I was even thinking about trying a regular cap. I want to try that. I want to try one of these super caps. Just make sure it's connected right. So we got the ground going this way. So that worked all the way up until where these two caps are probably charged now. Let's see what the voltage is. Let's see if it went like way over. No. So if I short these out, right, then it'll run till it fills. So I wonder if I set this up, you know, like split the positive, just make an oscillator. Those are two in series. There's a whole row of them here. Let me just go way out on the back side of the row. See what happens. Oh yeah. So it's charging through this small coil. Basically, if I got it like that, it's basically like split the positive. That's exactly what it is. But it still draws all that current. So if I take off this, short this one out, and then look at my, you guys can't see it, but there's a meter there. I'm looking at my current draw out of the power supply. Well, it wasn't as high though, but it didn't create high voltage sparks either, did it? I don't think so. It doesn't have those sharp impulses. Let's get it really close though and see if there's anything. This is already rectified high voltage, so that's good. Might be a little spark there. I want to try something. Take these off. This is a non-polarized cap. I'm going to stick it on the output of the system and see how fast it charges. It's 25,000. Well, it might. Actually, I need to leave. I'll charge it, but I need to leave the spark gap in there. Be my current limiter. Let's try that. So then we're going to hook it up direct. And do a quick blip. Ha! That cap still had something in it from who knows when. That's amazing. Okay, here we go. There's 10 volts, 12 volts, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So that works. Now, let's see how bad we slow it down when we add another inductor here. Just an air one, because that limits the current. Probably won't even jump the gap, so it shouldn't rise at all. Alright, so let's go real close. So now we're just going to touch. Yeah, like nothing. It doesn't have sharp enough pulses. to even do it. Well, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to try to blow stuff up. We know this pulls like tremendous amounts of current, but what it also does is put out a really nice high voltage. So, let's take this cap off. Should probably discharge it. Get something there. A little spark. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put, it's already rectified, so we're going to probably drain these super fast, but take that off for a second. Oh boy. Okay. So we got positive, we got negative. So the ground, we're going to go ahead and connect. We know this is positive coming out. We're going to go ahead and connect it back to the positive. It's already rectified, but we're going to make it a really small gap. So now we're feeding the high voltage back into the positive of those caps, which might be bad, but here we go. It's not really sparking. There we go. Very interesting. It's not sparking quite as much as we'd like it to. I'm going to charge this back up. Parallel your small coil with a cap. Oh, this one? Green is ground. I guess I should connect this with the ground as well. Now it has a direct path back. Let's disconnect the power supply. It's probably easier just to unplug it up there, but I hear noises over here. Like these wires are not high enough voltage. Broke it. Rats. Someone's gonna be mad at me. Oh. Hold on. Let's reset. I got the ground tied to the ground. But what I need to do, that's cool, ground goes to ground. But this high voltage needs to go back here. Aha! Screwed that up. Okay, try again. Now it's doing it. Okay, so we're gonna put a non-electrolytic between the capacitor bank and the inline from the high voltage pulses. That's a good idea. I should put them across inline. It's gonna put them across. I'm gonna try it real quick and then I'll do that. I bumped the voltage here. Accident. Okay, here we go. Look at that, it's like, I guess that's because it was going slow. Your high voltage pulses will pass but won't send the DC current backwards through the arc discharge. That is what the draining of the charge faster. Your high voltage pulses will pass but won't send the DC current backwards. Oh yeah, I see. But it's such high resistance. So like right now, hold on, I gotta get this set. I bumped it. So I see your point, but I have the spark gap there. So look, if I disconnect the power supply and I short out this, nothing's going backwards. And if I run it, so what I can do is I'll add a cap basically where the spark gap is. I'll just pick this one. There's a diode inside the flyback, don't forget that. It is rectified. Okay, let's try it again. This time we got the cap there. It's not rated for this voltage, but that's okay. This one's only 20 UF. Very small. Oh! Dang! It didn't let it get through. It totally charged the piss out of it. Did you hear that? It charged it, didn't even let it get through. I got the grounds connected. I don't think the coil ground is connected to anything else unless you actually connect it. Let's verify that. Yeah, they're isolated. So that shouldn't matter what I do there. Yeah, it charged that cap, didn't allow it to go through. What source am I getting ground from? I'm calling ground. There's a ground here, that is the negative high voltage output. So the negative high voltage output goes to the negative side of the caps. So they're all tied to its ground. And then the high voltage output, these guys, I would suspect if I just connect it directly like that, it would do me pretty good. It's going straight into that guy. But it's not really helping as much as I would thought it would. Might not be able, those caps might not be able to absorb this quite as nicely either, but let's run it again here. This just pulls way too much current. See, this guy will give me a high voltage spike without like hardly any, like maybe 200 milliamps. But for some reason it wasn't putting out. So I'll switch this back out for this guy here in a second. But then I gotta rectify it. It's just pulling too much current. It was pulling way over an amp. So let's switch this back out real quick with our microwave oven transformer. We will go ahead and stick a high voltage diode on there anyway. Just one, and we'll call see, high voltage positive output, so we'll call this ground basically, and then we're gonna say we're gonna go that way with our voltage coming out of this coil. So high voltage going out through the negative side. We need to flip that. We want to go through the positive side. Charge this back up. So now we got the same thing that we did with the flyback, but instead we're doing it with this, which pulls so much less current. About 200 milliamps from the power supply, and it's pretty sustained, so about 200 milliamps. So I'm gonna go ahead and run it without the supply for a second. So if I disconnect the diode, I can definitely hear it's affecting it. Take two diodes and a cap and put it on the MOT 1 wire. The high voltage side, you mean? Half wave bridge. Okay, so I'll do a half wave bridge. And you want me to send the negative back to the negative? Need more leads. Draw it up. So there's that. Now I could add a cap basically across the coil. I could add an original microwave oven transformer cap across the coil. These are only 0.7 UF though. I didn't calculate the inductance of the high voltage side, so it may not be the same. Oh, you know what? Oh yeah, no, that's okay. Okay. So actually, this needs to go on this side, the ground. So, oop. Post it on the thread where I posted my notes about this drawing with the reed switch. But look, we're going to connect it across the high voltage side. Let's keep going. Let's see what power supply says. We're drawing. You know what? This is on the wrong side anyway. This needs to go to the negative. Right? Negative out. And that's supposed to be positive out. I had it on the wrong one. Alright, we'll let it run for a while. Now, I know this reed switch is not switching fast enough, so let's do this. I've got relay switches that are reed. This one will switch a lot faster. So we're going to try that. The outside is the switch, the inside is the coil. It's not as much current. We might burn it up. Might just short it out, but so we got the coil, and we've got the reed. This should switch like a bazillion times faster. It should. Let's see if it works. Oh, I think we just burned it up. It was switching very fast though. Put my scope lead next to the triggers here, see what we see. Did you see it started going up there for a second? That was kind of interesting. I don't know what that was about, but I think it was probably something fishy. Yep, we might have burned it up. Actually, no, it's switching. It's being triggered. It's at a super high frequency now. Let's see what it actually is. Appears to be about much higher. That's switching at 8.2 kilohertz. I can hear it. It's screaming. Now I'm not so sure any high voltage is going to be coming out of this sucker. No, I don't have my power supply connected to my cap. I'm going to connect it though and let it charge up. And I want to see, first of all, if the frequency changes. Hear it? I'm not sure if you can hear it. It's squealing. Oh, it quit. Oh, I think we shorted it. We broke it. Keep getting shocked. It's running again. Trying to get it up there. It's running. I'm trying to get it steady. Oh, shorted. Yeah, it's not enough. There's a couple of problems here. See if that helps. It's running right now. It's oscillating. Power supply is disconnected. Let's see. I'm going to try hooking the scope up directly to the coil. It's pretty low voltage. Shouldn't be too high. I don't have the ground connected. Just looking at what's going on here. I'm going to connect the ground though. That is, if I can find the wires. Here we go. So I'm going to connect to ground of the system. Well, spikes are all over the place. What was that? Oh, that went to this guy. It's very interesting because you can't hear it, but it's oscillating. Charge it up again. Some of these spikes are like off the charts. They're not that bad, but they're really sharp. Let's see, let's measure across the... I'm actually measuring across the same side. Just gotta go to this side of the coil. That'll be a whole new thing. Oh yeah. So those pulses are no way. 192 volts peak to peak? Is that right? Probably. 600 volts DC. It was set on times 10. Peak to peak,
192 volts.
So this is what makes me want to put a diode across, you know, going back. These are negative spikes, and if I connect this right here, and the output to this reference, there is no output.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, let's see. That one keeps falling off. I want to probe this. I just don't want it to go backwards. You can't go back. Oh yeah, it can. The way I got it connected. That goes back to the positive. Okay, if that goes back to the positive, then I should be okay doing this. I want to go to ground. Ground can only flow that way. I should be alright doing that. I can connect it over here. Okay, so I want to measure a couple of things here. Charge this back up. I think it quit oscillating. Nope, I can hear it. There's my big peak. Okay, so it definitely does that. Flip it. Go to the positive. And if I do that, that would be shorted out. That would be bad. Put a choke coil between the half. Put a choke coil between the half wave rectifier and the supply caps. You mean on the high voltage side? You think that'll help? Wait, why? You have to explain to me why. I'll do it, but why? What will that help me with? You know what I can do? You see this coil here? This coil is a couple turns on the primary. This method is used on the SMPS. What's an SMPS? It's so crazy still. So it's putting out about 80 volt peaks at 2.3 volts. I wonder what the switch closure looks like. Now that'd be measuring from here to the positive reference. Better be careful. As long as nothing's connected to the power supply, I'll be alright. Switching speed's about 10 kilohertz right there. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Let me put these other diodes on here. These are microwave oven diodes, but they're not fast switching. So these other ones are fast switching. So you are correct there. I do agree. So let's see. That one goes to the positive. This one goes to the negative. Alright, now we got high switching on there. I don't see it oscillating anymore, unless it's too small to measure. Yeah, it's just too small to measure. It's crazy how fast it's switching. So there you go, those are 200 plus volt spikes within the within here. So now let me try adding a high speed switching diode there. That's connected to the positive side, so I want to connect this to the negative side. These leads are junk, but hey, it's okay for the moment. So we're going to connect this back there. Oh! What was that? It started arcing. What's it arcing across? Huh. It's arcing. Positive going in. Oh, it's going maybe that way. This is supposed to go to this one. Wait a minute. I'm always so confused. I'm always backwards. This should, if I flip this guy, obviously I'm going to be sending it back to positive. We can try that. But if we do that, we need to put it on this side. If we put it on this side, a reference to ground, I'm measuring negative spikes. It's interesting that even on this side, just across this wire, you can still measure. Let's put it on that side. So we're getting negative spikes to a reference there. I don't know why I always think of these things backwards than they are. So So it's always connected to negative through the coil. But those are not the right type of sparks. They should be this way. Oh no, it's going straight through if I do it that way. But if I switch these, there we go, now we got a negative coming out. That's real interesting. I would expect as long as it can't flow backwards. So right now it's connected to itself, just like that. Charge it up a little bit. I don't know why I'm so confused. Right now it should just oscillate. I think it's stuck. Nope, it's running. I think these are 5-volt relays as well. So it's running. I can see spikes, pretty big ones. So if I've got it, right now I've got it connected with no capacitor here. And alright, I got the negative connected to the MOT. Then that's connected to the switch. One side of the switch goes back to positive. The other side of the switch is connected here. If I connect it on the other side, see any oscillation. Alright. Oh, they're both connected to positive at that point. So if I could, so right now, and then right now I'm measuring. All right, we'll call this 3 volts input, and if I measure from scope ground there, um, 200 to 300 volt spikes, negative. So if I wanted to feed that back, I'd have to do what I did. But I actually should connect it. I wonder if I connect it to the call this 3 to 4 volts, like 200 to 300, 100, 200, 300 volt negative spikes. So what happens if I put a diode here? Still runs. If I switch it, no run. Yeah, I don't know. Because if those are negative spikes, right, it's bouncing that way. But yeah, it should be a negative output, which means I connect this guy here, and I connect it back to ground, which is what I did. It does some very... I mean, it's getting like arcs off that guy. Maybe I can actually just do it across the spark gap. The relay is what's making the noise. And let's think about why. That's going back to ground. So it's as if I'm connecting so I'm actually connecting a diode at this point, and I'm putting a ground. I'm putting the diode like that. I mean, I guess I'm suppressing the coil just like you would do normally. Really, I need to put it up here. Wait a minute. Yeah, the ground, which is the same point. I really need to put it, obviously, the other way. So if I connect it on this side, it's very interesting. It's still running. Charge it up again though. Such a high-pitched squeal too. Oops. I like this up there. Stay up there. There's a better way, Shell says. You need to be using an auto transformer. I'm just thinking out loud right now. So if I've got... So I'm just going to try putting a diode across... I kind of did that. Basically across there. What time is it? I gotta go in a little bit. So now I'm gonna hook a diode here. And it's gonna be connected like that. I'm gonna put little connections so I know I'm just testing. So now I'm gonna go from that side the other way around. And I'm gonna connect it to the positive side. I'm gonna connect this to the positive side. But everything's backwards. So what if I put a diode in the line? What if I put a diode right here? That's what I'm missing. If I put a diode there, it won't allow that to go back like it is. Yeah, I'll just have to use one of these. Well, it might not have enough current. I should probably use something else. Hold on. Actually, I think there's some in here. Yeah, brought some. Also, I have another really cool transformer, this guy. It has a bifilar primary, high voltage output secondary, low flyback type transformer. Here's a here's a regular diode. Now we're going to put a regular diode on this side. Regular old boring diode. Charge it back up a little bit. Oh, there it went. So now the negative can't come back. It could when I had that diode connected. So actually, you know what? Let's try this. Let's get another bank. Let's call this our charge bank. And instead of connecting this going there, see, let's get another meter. I'll use this guy. Easy to see for you. One of these guys. We're gonna call this our charge and see how we do. See how we fare. I'm just gonna connect it across all of them. So we're going to go back to positive. And then we need to put positive to positive, there we go, and then negative to positive. Technically it should charge go back up here. So we've got positive to negative, and that would be our flyback. I don't know if I've got that connected in the right spot, to be honest, but it should be. Okay, I need to think about how I'd connect that. Alright, I'm done. I'm tired. Had fun. Oh, is it going up? I guess it did go up. Let's put it only on 2 of these. Why is it? Seems very funny to me. It's on DC volts. try shorting all these out real quick. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try a different meter. That one seems interesting. Let's try this one. This one should work. Maybe not. What's my other one? I guess it was that red one. Fine. Be that way, man. Actually, this one should read voltage just fine. .3. There, so it's shorted. And if I disconnect it and get the spikes going again, maybe I should try a different cap. Try a non-polarized cap. There it goes. See, it's charging. So actually it is giving back a little. Hold on, let me read your comments. You posted a link, but it disappeared. Yellow tape and copper strap around them. I actually, I didn't bring it home. I have one of those. See, I really like this guy. It's bifilar primary, high voltage output. This will be perfect for a test like this. Then I've got the bifilar. I got a whole bunch of these. I don't know if they got the bifilars, but I got a bunch similar to this. You think of some ideas for these. Okay. Oh. Yeah, sure. Oh, I have one of those. Except it's a variable. It's a. This cap didn't charge up very far. Only to 6 volts. Okay, I'm going inside. I'm going to just let this oscillate and we'll see how far down it'll oscillate to. Oh, it's a terrible loud squealing noise. Thanks for hanging out. I'm exhausted. Bye-bye. Appreciate the help.